Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker and members, it is my privilege to offer one of Virginia's finest for today's Women's History Month. Magdalene Orstrom Bryant, pictured here, was known worldwide as a tour de force and affectionately known as MOB or Maggie. Maggie was a passionate philanthropist, entrepreneur, conservationist, and supporter of education. She was a record-setting racehorse owner-breeder in U.S. and France. Not only did she change the world because of her actions, but because she had a talent for connecting people. And it was her quiet persistence and support that pushed others to make the world a better place through their talents. Her drive and energy were incomparable and lived by the great Wayne Gretzky quote, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." Well, Mr. Speaker, Maggie took plenty of shots and made history by taking outsized risks on numerous ideas. Maggie was known for her firsts. She was one of the first women of her era to serve on the board of a Fortune 500 company. She served on the boards of both Dover Corporation and Carlyle Companies Incorporated. Maggie, being very unconventional, and as Halloween was one of her favorite holidays, would attend the October board meetings dressed as a witch. She financed and built the 14-mile Dulles Greenway between Leesburg and Dulles Airport, the first private toll road in over 100 years. She was one of the first landowners to place land in conservation easements and was always working to preserve her beloved Blue Ridge. She was recognized by the Land Trust of Virginia as Virginia's Conservationist of the Year in 2011. Maggie had a special place in her heart for the Mississippi Delta and gifted 12,000 acres of land to in the Delta to the Purvis Grange Foundation. Maggie served as chair of the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation for 9 years and on the board of the National Wildlife Federation. Maggie loved the wild, unconventional, and the beautiful. Enamored with everything wild and beautiful, her adventures brought her to the African continent almost annually for decades, and she insisted that her family and friends followed suit. She befriended Ian Player, a well-known South African conservationist who, with her brother and mentor Zulu elder Magbutu Tombela, saved the white rhino from extinction and co-founded the Wild Foundation. Elephants held a special place in her heart, and she helped finance an elephant relocation project that successfully translocated surplus elephants from Botswana to Angola. Over the course of her adventures, she was chased by lions, rode African elephants, and camped out on the Sahara Desert with Tuareg nomads and dignitaries. Maggie's adventurous spirit was unparalleled. Maggie understood that education was the pillar to enhance this world. She strove to ensure that she engaged in education ventures, changing the trajectory of lives of so many people and organizations across the globe. In Costa Rica, she supported Earth University's entrepreneurship program, and in the country of Paraguay, her 2 Montessori schools educated hundreds of children. In Mississippi, her legacy includes summer camps for underprivileged children where they learn environmental sustainability and practice outdoor skills. Here in Virginia, she was an influential figure at Shenandoah University. She was instrumental in building the theater and helping with their global citizenship project. Maggie was a skilled horsewoman, and her love for horse racing in the U.S. and France gave her great satisfaction and notoriety. Her greatest flat track achievement in the U.S. was when her horse V.E. Day won the Grade 1 Travers Stakes at Saratoga. Little known fact, Mr. Speaker, she also owned part of the horse that came in second. Maggie was even more successful in steeplechasing. She was incredibly well known in Virginia and was inducted into the Virginia Steeplechase Association Hall of Fame in 2014. France, however, hosted her greatest achievements. Known in French steeplechasing as La Grande Dame à Chapeau Rouge, the lady in the red hat, or La Grande Dame à Rouge, the lady in red. She was a powerful presence when her horses were running because her jockey's cap was red. So too were her many hats and those of the people in her group, making them readily visible at the stables, in the stands, and in the winner's circle. She became the owner of multiple Group 1 winners and made history in 2015 as the first American and one of the few women to win the coveted Group 1 Grand Steeplechase de Paris, her French steeplechasing's oldest and most prestigious race. Mr. Speaker, she won it 2 more times, 3 in a row, twice with the same horse. She also won the Cheval d'Or, the Golden Horse, for being the winningest owner. Maggie also understood the hardship and heartbreak of racing as well, taking bad news with a philosophical view and saying, "Kick on," which was almost always followed by, "We have lots to do." Mr. Speaker, Maggie Bryant was a quiet force in Virginia and had ties to this prestigious body. You see, Mr. Speaker, I had the unique privilege of giving her another nickname, Mongie. You see, Mr. Speaker, she was my grandmother, and of course, she had to be unique. So, to my son's generation and my generation, she was our Mongie. I can honestly say that I would not be sitting in the Virginia House of Delegates without her. She was my employer, my mentor, cheerleader, best friend, my rock, and my hero. Mr. Speaker, for this Women's History Month, I am proud to present Magdalene Nordstrom Bryant. She had a magic about her that made people better than they thought they were, that brought people together in ways they never thought possible, and through those connections, were able to achieve the impossible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.